Alright, this is my proposed dream fight between Anderson the Spider Silva and Randy the Natural Couture at 205 pounds. Um, and as you all know, Anderson Silva is widely considered the pound for pound best in the world right now. I still think Fedor is, but he's getting there. He's really close. He's won his last 10 fights. Tony Fricklin, Chris Lieben, Rich Franklin, Travis Luter, Nate Marquardt, Rich Franklin again, Dan Henderson, James Irvin, Patrick Cote, Talis Latis, and he'll be fighting Forrest Griffin in August at UFC 101. So pretty much he's just wrecking the entire middleweight division. He's laid waste, and there's nobody in that division that's going to really give him it much of a challenge at all. Some have said Damian Maia, since Damian Maia is apparently one of the most outstanding jiu-jitsu artists that's ever come into the sport of MMA. I haven't seen too many of his fights, but you know, I believe what people are saying. I'll take their word for it. So besides that, he's gonna have to go up in weight if he wants to get a good challenge, and I'm guessing Forrest will give him some of that. But if he beats Forrest, there's GSP, which I think would be a great challenge for him. But I think the one thing he hasn't been challenged with yet, which I think might be his weak point, is a really strong wrestler and a guy who has a great game plan and that can just find ways to pick him apart. And I think Randy Couture is the king of all of those. You've seen him pick apart Tim Sylvia, Gabriel Gonzaga, Chuck Liddell in their first fight. An absolute domination of Tito Ortiz. You can say he lost to Chuck Liddell 2 times, so maybe you're thinking, well, if he lost to Chuck, then he'd get annihilated by Silva. But I think Couture is a better fighter than he was then. He may be a lot older. He's 46 now. But I think he could give Silva a lot of problems that he hasn't dealt with before. I think if he could somehow get Silva up against the cage and dirty box him for a while, we haven't seen Silva take much punishment at all. Nobody's really given him a whooping yet, a beating. If Randy can find a way to get him against that cage and start beating him, who knows what could happen. Then again, Silva could catch him at any point and KO him like that. I don't know. This is a fight I've been wanting to see for a while. I think it'd be a great fight. I think it'd be a great test for Anderson Silva, and yeah. Other guys I'd like to see. So I'm just gonna throw this out there. Other people I'd like to see him face are GSP. I'd like to see him face Rampage. I think Rampage would be a good fight for him. Rashad, Vanderlei Silva. Even though I think Anderson would probably win that, but it'd still be fun. I think Shogun would be a good fight, and I think Machida would be a good fight, even though they'll never fight since they're teammates and apparently very good friends. BJ Penn, even though that's a ridiculous thought, even though BJ has gone up to middleweight before, he beat Renzo Gracie at middleweight, even though Renzo Gracie isn't Anderson Silva. And then I'd like to see him against Fedor. That's a long shot of happening. Anderson's apparently going to retire at 35 once his contract's up, and he wants to go into boxing and whatnot, but who knows what he might do when he's out of the UFC. There's, there's some middleweights out there, Matt the Law Lindland, Robbie Lawler. I don't think he's going to take those fights unless, there's a big payday, but I think a catchweight with Fedor might be fun. I don't know. I honestly think Couture, out of all my dream picks, is more realistic. I think GSP is the most realistic one. That's probably actually going to happen, but Couture would be the one I'd like to see most. Anyways, that's me rambling again about MMA and whatnot, and catch you later.